go across to Ravi Jakhar to get more understanding as to how this is likely to impact, and more importantly, when can we expect some resolution. Ravi, hi, thank you so much for making time and speaking with us. First up, tell me the on-ground situation that you are analyzing at this point of time. What's the extent of the breakdown that we have seen? Is it happening pan-India? Are there certain regions which are more impacted? The extent of the fleet which is involved in this kind of showdown of sorts?
No, so honestly, on the driver strikes and protests, perhaps our colleagues on the Gati side of business would be in a better position to comment on that. What I can say is that the recent amendments in the law have made certain provisions on which there have been discussions between the transport associations and the government. Any protest which turns beyond control is not good. But I believe that the situation seems to be under control. I'm not very familiar with the ground, to be honest. In terms of the importance of logistics industry, the government has always kept it at the forefront. So I'm sure the government would come to a amicable solution in terms of finding appropriate measures so that it is not impacting drivers who are important for the national economy, since transport industry kind of carries the whole economic transport, and the drivers are an important element of that. But beyond that, on the operating level, I cannot share much details.
Sure, but since we have you with us, just quickly talk to us about the Red Sea situation, because that was getting better, and then there was this another attack that happened right over the weekend. What's the current situation there?
Yeah, so in the Red Sea, as you are rightly mentioning, Maersk, CMA CGM, and a few shipping lines had already decided to resume services. This was on the back of guarantees from US Navy and other international forces who had reached some kind of a diplomatic agreement. However, the recent attack means that Maersk has again suspended for the next 2 days. We have to be watchful. There have been calls for, not doing the strikes on the US side. There's also been news of the Iranian vessels getting in. So it is difficult to see what would happen in the next 2 to 3 days. But at this point in time, the trade is not going through Red Sea. The shipping lines have continued to suspend for the next 2 days. What this means for the trade is that they have to go around the longer route, which means about 8 to 10 days of transit delays. That also means there could be constraints on the shipping capacity side. So from a shipping perspective, it is not a good thing. It means delays and additional costs as well for the shippers, and it would impact the Indian trade going into Europe and coming in from Europe as well. Also the Far East to Europe trade, which also passes through the Red Sea. But I would say that given there was a positive outlook and the shipping lines have also taken a call to suspend only for a couple of days, let's hope that the better sense prevails, and in the next couple of days we hear some good developments towards more peaceful resolution, and so that the trade can continue through the Red Sea. But at this point in time, for the next 2 days, shipping lines have suspended their services.
All right, Ravi, thank you very much for joining us on the show.
Yeah.
So that was an important